Well, if you've ever dreamed of quitting your 9 to 5 and embarking on a new business venture, you're not alone. In fact, half of Australians are now looking to start a sustainable side hustle, and they might want to take note from our next guest. Matt Jones is the accidental entrepreneur who used his skills in sales to create one of the world's leading gin distilleries.
Now, with a multi-million-dollar business to his name, the co-founder of 4 Pillars has put pen to paper for a brand new project. His book, Lessons from Gin, is helping others to master their craft, build a brand and achieve start-up success.
Lessons from Gin. Don't drink too much. Lesson 1.
Or do.
The man behind the book, Matt Jones, joins us in the studio. Hi, lovely to see you.
Hey,
You call yourself an accidental entrepreneur. You went from a political advisor to co-owning one of Australia's biggest alcohol brands. How did you do it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sort of unlikely pathways in my journey. I mean, I was born in the UK and originally the home of gin, and yet I had to come to Australia to build a gin business. I started in politics, which is a really interesting place as a strategist and a communicator, because you think, and obviously this week's a big week in politics, you think political choices and votes are very rational, but they're not. We vote based on how we feel about candidates and parties. So I failed in politics. I only worked in opposition. I moved into the world of brand strategy. That was fascinating. That took me to New York City, worked for a bunch of big brands, had a baby, came back here and went for lunch. And I went for lunch with this guy called Stu Gregor. We got on about everything from what to drink to what to eat to how brands get built to which soccer team to support. We start working together. He introduces me to his best mate, Cameron McKenzie. Turns out Cameron has been making wine, could make fantastic gin. 10 years later, 4 Pillars is named the world's leading gin producer for the 3rd time, and here we are today.
It's an incredible story, but we want to broaden out the conversation a bit about startups. And we know a lot of people sitting at home watching this show are involved in startups. Something going on in the garage, right? But so many of these businesses, 60% in fact, will fail in the first 3 years. Why is that?
Look, it's a huge question, and every business is unique, and every business that fails is a tragedy on a human scale. I think if you're looking for common themes, it's often because we haven't thought through the business enough before we've started. Once you're going, I would say about 4 Pillars, once it was on, it was on. So you have to take advantage of that early opportunity to think through, what business am I getting myself into? I think people often think, I've got a big idea. But the truth is, starting a business is often just a decision. It's the first decision. And the question you've got to ask is, do I know enough to make this the right decision? And what's now going to make this successful? And have I thought it through? Have I got the logic? Have I got the clarity? Because then you can execute with success.
OK, so is it that they don't know, they should educate themselves more about the business side of things? So they might have the idea, build a gin, build a candle, but they haven't thought about the business side. That's
correct, because if you think about most businesses, either it's someone who was an employee, thinks, I don't want to work for someone else anymore, I want to turn this into my own business. Or, as you said, Larry, it's a side hustle, it's a passion. So they know something. There's a source of expertise there. But have they thought about the wider factors that are going to make that business successful? How are they going to win not just their first customer, not just their 10th, but their 100th and their 1,000th customer? What it's going to take to do that, what other people they need to put around them, what time it's going to take, how much that's going to cost them. It's really getting clarity on their theory of what is going to make them successful.
We hear this a lot from great entrepreneurs, that failures matter. Failures are important, right? You subscribe to that?
I do. I think failure teaches you lessons that sometimes success can't, but hopefully the failure isn't so dramatic that it sets you back forever.
But there's lessons in there somewhere.
Yeah. There are, and in 4 Pillars, like it was not always easy sailing, and just when you think you've got one piece of the business cracked and nailed down, something changes. And this is one of, I think, the secrets in the book. I talk a lot about how to think through your business, but at the other end, how to grow your business and navigate those challenges of growth, because growing a business is like being a parent. Just when you think you've got it figured out, the kids change, well, the business changes, the landscape changes.
I think we've got a graphic page just as we say goodbye. We're about to say goodbye, but we've got a graphic page which has some tips on it, and of course more will be in your book. Matt's book is called Lessons from Gin, and it is out now. Fascinating chat.
Some great info in there. Thank you, mate. Good to see you.